So with our lovely Miss T, I wanted to see if we could also practice a little bit with the cot. I know for some of them, they've never tried a raised bed, so it can be a little bit unnerving if they've never tried one. So I just want to go see if she wants to go check it out, and I can go and do a couple little find its. Remember though, if she was really hesitant, I would not be forcing her to choose between the food and the weird item. I want her to feel comfortable being able to check it out at her leisure. So right now, if we do find that the cot is a little bit weird because it's got this hammock kind of feel to it where she'll sink in, you can see with Mr. A, he was all about it, but Miss T might be like, this is a little bit weird. If she's a little bit hesitant, what I might do is do a little find it. I'm going to actually take the cot, I'm going to flip it and do it upside down. So the reason I flipped it is for a lot of the babes, the concept of it kind of sinking underneath them can make them feel a little bit weird. So right here, yes, nice job. Good girl, Tuna. So her going and trying the mat, but upside down can be really nice because then she can feel the floor underneath her feet, and it's not quite as challenging as if it was upright. So sometimes I like to do a couple little find its. You could also show your puppy that you standing on it, you don't sink. So some puppies like it when you sort of prove the fact that it's not that dangerous by also showing them that you could rock it as well. Nice job, ma'am. She's like, this is a very peculiar item. So right now we're just making it fun to try and see this new thing. I know for her sometimes novelty can be a little bit weird, and it can be weird for a lot of puppies, so she's not abnormal. Plenty of puppies will sometimes go through, again, a couple little stages where through development and different life stages, they're going to feel less or more comfortable with certain things. So right now, I just want her to think there's value. If she doesn't want to go into a sitting position again like earlier because maybe she's not feeling as cozy, we can just rock this a little bit. I know, poor Mr. R says, why are you not coming and playing with me again yet, ma'am? So obviously we do some wrestles, but then throughout the day they have to take little breaks. And then sometimes when one puppy's out practicing, another puppy is sad they can't be romping and wrestling at the same time. Oh, that's a good burp. So let's say Miss T did a really nice job placing her body onto the target. I might now try and see if I can get her to go ahead and walk on it again. Yes. And feed for those little moments. So this could be like the beginning stages of building up comfort with different textures or different platforms. And then eventually some that might teeter or move. So again, we might get her to right there. Yes. This again would not be something I'd be forcing her. If she was really hesitant about the weirdness that is the cot, I would just go at her comfort range and make sure that it's not so stressful she doesn't feel safe. So right here, we might go into some nice little find its on the target. Actually, it smells really funny. Ready? Find it. Good job. She's doing a very nice job. And two, I know we blabbed about it earlier. She may be feeling a little bit more off because she is in season and her comfort range might vary. So, but she's doing a real nice job working these lovely moments on the bed. Good job. So we'll try for a moment. I want to see if I can flip it and see if we can try getting her comfortable trying this novel item. So I'm going to do a little find it just to keep her off on the side so she's not coming and bumping into it as I'm flipping it over. And I don't want to drop it and startle her either with like a big bang. So now the cot's been flipped back over. It's up into its usual stance. We'll see if she goes and targets it. So right here she goes and checks it out. Might go yes and feed her for that. If she's a little bit unsure, let the beauty figure it out on their own. So right there, she's doing some great little checking out. There's been other friends on it, like her BFF, Mr. A. Nice. So this is where I do love working that platform, like the pause up or step up. Yes. Especially in the beginning on a very solid-like target. So it's not going to have a lot of flex or give and then make your puppy feel anxious as they feel like they're sinking into the equipment. So, but as they get more fluid with putting toes onto things, you could then build in like a wobbly type item, like a wobble board, or some of the items they have for like physical therapy as well for dogs and people. There's kind of like these little mats that are sort of bumpy and they're filled with air and they kind of move a little bit as you stand on them. Those ones can be a great option. Nice job. She's like, why is it making funny noises? Good job, cuteness. But that could be another great item for practicing some conditioning, but also some comfort and building some resilience. So right now, Miss T is saying this is not so shabby trying this lovely cot that is raised up off the floor. So let's say again, she did a great job. We might move off of it again. And I'm just building up value and going to our little target. So we might try our little bed. Yes. And then feed for that. Nice job, cuteness. Nice. What a good girl. So remember that a lot of times too, if you start with the full behavior, it might be too challenging. But if let's say we started off with working, walking on it upside down, so it's not as overwhelming the feeling of the material. And then from there, work into flipping it back over. You could see that she did a much better job going right onto the cot this time, ready, bed, than, for example, the first time where she was like, oh my gosh, that's so weird and creepy. So Miss T is doing a very nice job trying out this new platform. Good job, madam. So remember, if you are working on a place or a bed behavior, I know she normally has her little blanket. You could always take that blanket and then plop it onto other items, not to force that she has to go and rock it, but to sometimes build up the comfort of knowing her blanket could then be placed on this and bring her similar comfort. If though she was like, this is looking really spooky, don't again force the situation, but see maybe where she's at for comfort range and break it down in smaller steps. So right now Miss T is doing splendid with this. So we'll see if we can get her off again. Nice. We'll try again. Ready? Bed. Yes, nice job. So we'll see if maybe we could rock a potential sitter down. If she can't rock it, remember this is more could you versus you must. So I don't like to force things. Even though, again, we do have moments where sometimes you have to move around something or change up the dynamic because of a safety situation. None of this is safety involved right now. So her saying, I can't sit or I can't down, no big deal. So don't feel that you have to force the scenario if you don't feel they're capable. Right there, yes. Because that's a great way to ruin whatever behavior or skill set you've been trying to practice. So right here, yes. So beautiful. I'm feeding her for some of these very nice little settles on this mat. So even if right now I'm not applying the stay, just like I mentioned earlier for Mr. A, I just want her to find value in going to her target bed and being able to relax while other things are happening around her. I know she has the benefit of coming to classes too, where she is now in like the puppy grad, so like the secondary program. So she's been able to practice around new classmates versus the puppy kindergarten, which had all the same classmates for that round, but the second round there's a few new friends and a few that she hasn't been as familiar with. So this has been really great practice for Miss T, and even now, with sometimes some of her friends being like, woe is me, why aren't we wrestling? She's still able to hone in and work her little skill. Nice job, Miss T. So, but for all the beautiful babes that have been coming for the day school program, they've been doing a really great job with their skill set and being able to build up on their comfort range and their resilience and their abilities while there's all these other things happening off in the distance. Because it's one thing to be in a classroom where everybody's working their skills. It's another thing to like see other puppies sometimes doing their chews or frolicking in their bubble and then have to work her skills off in the distance. So, but Mr. R says, I would really love to wrestle with her again. Please bring her back. Nice job, cuteness. So, but we'll give our beautiful Miss T a little break. Her, though, ability to go from being unaware of how to rock this to now feeling comfortable enough to walk right on here and now offer this beautiful down is really nice to how quick she's able to bounce back now from some of these distractions and feelings of a little bit unsure. Smart girl. Nice work. So, but we'll give our 2 Doggy Day School students a little breather from their videos, and then we'll work a few more skills. And obviously, too, I'll email everybody, but as a reminder, there's no day school next Wednesday. Then the last one is the following week because I'm away on vacation, and we'll be taking that next week off. So, nice job, Miss T. So we'll give our gorgeous Miss T a little breather. Tuna did an awesome job with her place on her mat. I didn't apply a stay, so if she gets up and wiggles, no big deal. And even if she was in a stay and she broke, still no big deal. But remember that if she were giving you a hard time, she's having a hard time. So right now, Miss T is doing stellar with her bed. And right now we're just building up value and going to the target. So there was no stay applied. So, but keep up the great work with Miss T and Mr. A. And we'll have them take a little break, and then we'll work a few more skills throughout the day. Nice job, Miss T.